The next question. Do you feel that the consent agenda format is an adequate way to review village decisions and finances? Trustee Broley?
The consent agenda, and for those of you that might not know, there's several items, maybe 20 or 30 items a meeting that the village board has to approve. We're the corporate authority for the village, so it's our job to approve the bills, let's say, to be paid. So it's every bill that goes out to every contractor and entity that we owe. That typically is on the consent agenda, meaning the village president will read off the entire portion of that, and if one trustee has a comment or a question about any of that, it gets pulled off of there. So nothing ends up on there that if instead of voting no against consent, you can say, the bill that goes out to company X, I'd like to pull that because I have a couple questions. So the consent agenda we really don't use to review things. It's simply to approve things that would otherwise be unanimous. And if you don't want something on there, we've had meetings here, committee of the whole meetings, where we know right now that the vote's not going to be 6-0, so that won't end up on consent. Or if you know at that meeting, I'm going to vote against the LED billboards, don't put that on the consent agenda, and then it's not on there. So, thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Broley. Trustee Keck.
The village board meeting is where action is taken. The committee of the whole meeting is where items, issues, whatever, to come before the board are discussed. That's the working meeting. We've had committee of the whole meetings go 3.5 hours and spend an hour on an individual subject, just because it's a hot button item, a heater item, such as LED boards or something like that. All of the discussion that takes place at the committee of the whole meeting is where the meat and bones are separated, so to speak. That's where all of the hard work is done, the hard discussions, the agreements, disagreements, point, counterpoint, however you want to view it. That is what the way the system is designed. It's the working meeting. The board meeting is typically where the policy has already been decided at the working meeting, and then it's formally adopted at that point. So I guess in summary, I think that's a good way to do it. The consent agenda is a good idea. It's a way to move items that were previously discussed at length through the process, and then to get them either adopted.
Thank you, Trustee Keck.